Good morning.
Good morning.
A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so, we built a trash pump into a fire suppression kit with an IBC tote. And I did that with the idea of wanting to build a homemade HYDROSEEDER. At the time, I wanted to try this out first to see how it worked for pumping water out of the IBC tote. Then I had to do a lot more research and figure out parts and pieces that I would need to see if I can make this into a HYDROSEEDER with an IBC tote. Everything that I think I'm going to need finally came in. So let me show you what we got.
All right, what did you get?
All right, in here, I think I have most of the stuff we need. I had to pick up more stuff yesterday. PVC 90, some couplers, shut-off valve, some more cam lock ends. Let me go grab the suction line and one of the main parts for this build. All right, I needed another piece of suction line. I got that. We got to make that ends fit on that. And then one of the big ones is they make nozzles for HYDROSEEDing. I believe this one is an 80-degree nozzle end. And then I had to get attachments so we can make it work with our shutoff valve. And I had to order some HYDROSEEDing mix, and that actually came in. So it was HYDROSEEDing end, suction line, and mix that we were waiting for to try this out. So let's get building. All right, I gotta put a cam lock fitting in here, and then our new suction line is gonna go from our pump into our IBC tote, and then we can open up this valve. This will feed back into the IBC tote, making it like a jet to stir the mix. And then out here, we'll plug in our nozzle end that we need to build, and this will be for spraying the HYDROSEEDing mix out. So we wanna use this to like aerate it and keep everything suspended in the mix. We got to put in grass seed, HYDROSEEDing mix, water, and then I want to add some Redmond's Grow into it, and then I have some other ideas I want to try in the future to try different spots to see where it gets the grass growing the best. So the biggest reason I want to build a HYDROSEEDER is because every time we put grass seed down or dig a hole, it always rains. So let me show you out here. All right, so we have a lot of hillsides and ditches, and anytime we seed them, we get a big rain, it washes out and ends up looking like this. So HYDROSEEDing mix will stick to it, and it's got like a stick to it, so if it rains, it's not gonna wash away as easily. I'm sure if we get a huge heavy downpour, it still might wash away some. So we have banks like this we need to do, and there's other areas, but first we're gonna try the experiment on this bank and see how it does. It should start growing grass in like 2 to 3 days. And right now we have some really good weather ahead of us for it, so.
Will it grow on rocks?
It usually will grow on anything.
Because we got a lot of rocks.
We got a lot of rocks. We have this bank here. We got the one down below in the pasture. And then we have some new ones we've been working on. All right, let's build this suction line. We're only gonna do one end for now. It needs a little heat. Not much. Perfect. So the suction hose, you need rigid, so when it's sucking, it doesn't collapse on itself. I did HYDROSEEDing in high school when I worked for a landscape company. We had a big old like 1,000-gallon tank that we'd put on a trailer, and it had like a fire engine jet canning blaster, kind of like when you go to an amusement park and you have the water rides where you can shoot people with a water gun. That's kind of what it was set up like. So I'm hoping we can get it to work like that, but we'll find out because that was industrial made, and this is getting made in the workshop. All right, so the idea is we're gonna go from the IBC tote to here, and then that'll pump it into the pump. The pump's gonna pump it out, but we'll also have this cracked probably like halfway, and then it'll feed some of it back into the IBC container, which will aerate it. So we gotta make a connection to go from up here into there. All right, so that's the big one, is knowing the distance from these two hoses, so that way we can make this fit properly. So this end's gonna go to the pump. Like so. And then all right, so I think if I do it this way, put my fitting in and then my union, that'll hold it in place. It'll still be able to swivel if it needs to, but it can't pop out. That should do. Or do we want it way out here? I don't want to have that like right there. Make a mess.
Brutus, watch out.
Watch out.
Good boy.
Got it. I think we're almost ready to try this out. All right, this is gonna go like so. Lock it in place. I guess I gotta screw that cap on. Then like that, and then we'll put our nozzle out. So let me build the nozzle. I have a bunch of different bushings to go from 2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. All right, I got the mini truck fired up. I gotta move it so we can get to the trailer. It's still running really rough. I have a couple of things ordered that I'm waiting to get in for the mini truck before we continue on with that project, so hopefully they come in soon. If my suction line is long enough, I should be able to fill right here. All right, that's just over 200 gallons. So it's kind of cool. We could fill it this way and that way. I got it shut off. I'm just going to disconnect and leave our suction line here because we won't need that again until we go to fill back up. All right, that took 4 minutes to fill up 200 gallons, and that includes priming it and everything. So that's cool. Okay, for erosion control, you gotta add fertilizer, which we're using Redmond's Grow. Then you use your Easy Flow blend at a rate of 40 pounds per 80 gallons of water. All right, so I wanna drain this down to 160 gallons.
You could have told me to move out of the way.
Watch out. All right, that drained out pretty quickly. We're using the Profile brand Easy Flow blend of mulch. It is like shredded paper and wood shavings. So I'm gonna continue adding this in, and then I'll be back, because this is gonna be the part that takes the longest. I have one bag of the Easy Flow in, and it seems like the water's kind of thick, so I'm gonna put this cover back on, get it recirculating, and see how it is, and then we'll give it a test flow and see how the gun sprays it, and if I want to add more or not, because I want to make sure that this pump will still pump it depending on how much Easy Flow we have in there. We've never used this setup, so we gotta see how it's gonna work before we commit with too much. All right, let's open this valve. Bam. That's going to the inlet. Let's open this one. This one's open. That's closed. Let's start this and get it circulating up there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we definitely need more HYDROSEEDER mix. It's got a good fan spray. All right, definitely flows good and flows good, but we definitely need more of the HYDROSEEDing mixed to it. I got our seed mix and I cut a hole on the side for easier access. All right, I had to drive over here with the truck and trailer so I can get close enough to the bank to reach it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to come out here, spray it, drive forward, and just go as far as my hose will reach, getting all the way up there. I have the Everflow mixed in. I have Redmond's Grow mixed in. I'll have that link down below if you want to check out Redmond's Grow. And then I have our grass seed mixed in. Redmond's Grow is our fertilizer. It's an all natural organic fertilizer that we are using. So let's get this spraying and see how it goes. I am excited. All right, let's move ahead. Come on, baby. I think I might have just enough in that batch to finish up there. If not, it's gonna be close, and if I wasn't messing around trying to figure it out, we definitely would have got it. So we're gonna mix up more anyways, but I want to see how far I can get with the 2 bags. Let's get her done. We're almost out. That is awesome. Hydroseeding with our own homemade DIY hydro seeder. That was 2 bags. I believe a bag's right around 40 bucks. That's 80 bucks worth of hydro seeding mix. If we would have bought those straw roll mats, we probably would have had like 500 bucks just in straw mats to do that one area. I understand we got the cost of the pump in there and everything else, but I think even with the cost of the pump, that was like 200 or 300 bucks on sale. And then all of the different fittings. If you figure just doing this one row with that straw mat, we probably would have had the same amount of money, I'll have to figure it out, as we do right now invested. And then we still have a pump, the IBC tote. We have a lot more to do than just this slope. I'm pretty sure just this slope alone paid for the homemade hydro seeder. That is awesome. Let's go get this filled up with water. We can get another batch made, get here done. I have a few other areas. I have a lot of other areas I want to do. Down where the cows are, someday we'll have to do, but with them in there, I don't want to disrupt them because that bank's pretty bad. And then we have some new stuff that we've been working on that we'll be able to show you guys. We'll be doing some hydro seeding on. I can't wait to see how long it takes for this grass to start growing. All right, I did a couple of different things when I was mixing to make my job a little easier. I threw a strap down over the PVC pipe. This PVC pipe works awesome, being right into a 90 in the top. It blows it back in, it remixes everything. I cut a flap in, so this is where I can add the material. Instead of through the little hole while it's not running, I can do this. I can have the injection pump running and it's mixing everything as I'm adding in more material. So that worked out really well. It is the next morning. It is raining now. I ran out and I picked up a suction line last night. I want to try using a suction line for spraying all of the hydro seeding mix. The soft hose I had, every time I take like a corner, it would collapse on me and it was hard to kind of get it to stay straight all the time. So I'm hoping that that might help, but it might be too stiff of a hose. Maybe I need to find like an in-between, more like a garden hose stiffness. I'm not sure. I got what I could get for now. It works. Okay. All right, we got 175 gallons in there. I started with 160 yesterday, and then I put like 10 gallons more in after I had 2 bundles of the HydroFlow in there. So I think 175 will be perfect. So now we can disconnect, head back up, mix up another batch. All right, so that's our Redmond's Grow. Should probably put an on-off valve here so we can have this closed off while it's circulating, but that can always be an addition later on. So now I'm going to start it up, get everything circulating, and then we'll stop mixing as we go. Pretty cool how it works, circulating everything and mixing it. I just added Redmond's Grow. I'm gonna add some seed, then I'll put our first bag of the blend in. I got it all mixed up. It's been mixing good for a half hour now, so now we can start spraying. I'll show you what it looks like when it's good and mixed. I had my hand under there, and I can see that we got seed. I got the grow in there. This batch, I put some pelletized lime in there. We're going to be doing 2 different sprays in this video, and we're going to keep an eye on it to see how one performs versus the other. All right, so it's probably plugged up on me 5-ish, 10 times. I never had it plug up on me once yesterday. I'm thinking my hose is too long. Right now, it won't blow out the hose at all, but it'll backfeed into the IBC tote. So my hose is plugged somewhere. So I want to take it apart, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to cut off probably about 10 feet and then see how that works. This is a 30-foot long hose. It's nice to be able to get further distances, but it's not spraying as good as it was yesterday. This could be a mess. There's no pressure, but I'm assuming we're gonna get some crud out. There's like a stick lodged in there.
A stick?
Well, it's made out of wood. There's wood fibers. I don't know if you'll be able to see in there, but there's a decent sized wood chip stuck in there, crossways. So maybe that's all I need to do for now. Yeah, that was stuck crossways. Kind of like when you're using a shop vac and something gets jammed up there. So that's what was causing that right then. So I'm just going to put this back on, crank it up, and finish using this batch. And then we'll have to shorten the hose up. So I don't know if you can see in here, but you can see grass seeds, clover seeds. So it's got a good mix of everything. It's like paper mache. this right here is a test area. We went in here and we've just pulled out some roots. You can see them right there and some shrubs. Our ground is really rocky, so I'm curious to see if we do something like this in areas, and then if we blast it with this hydroseeding mix that we came up with, how it'll work, because this would be a good pasture. This hydroseeding mix, I want to spray these areas and keep an eye on it, see how it does. The first batch we did the hydroseeding mix, Redmond's Grow, grass seed. The second area I did hydroseeding mix, Redmond's Grow, grass seed, and then I added in some pelletized lime. So I want to see how everything goes. So I don't want to be spraying a whole bunch right now. I want to keep an eye on the test area, see what one works better, and see if we have enough Redmond's Grow mixed in, or if we need to add more. So I'd hate to just do a whole bunch right now and then go, oh wait, that didn't work out as well as we needed to. We should have added something else. This is test. We have first one I did yesterday, second one over there, and then this is a test area to see if we just blast the hydroseeding mix over an area we just pulled the stumps out quickly, how well it does. I really like that length of hose. That's 30 feet. 20 feet might spray better. It plugged up on me a few times. Once I get that big plug out, it was fine. So maybe that was the whole issue from the beginning.
Well, who else thinks that Al's truck, trailer, everything else probably gonna grow some grass?
I mean, if it does, that means we've done something right, because that's what we want. We want to be able to grow grass wherever we need to. So one roll of erosion control straw mat is $145 for 8 feet wide by 112 feet long. So it would have taken us at least 4 rolls of that down there, if not more. So that would have been $600. That right there pays for this hydroseeding machine, not including the stuff we did today, because I did the slope down there that kept getting washed out. So if we would have got straw mats for erosion control for those, just the price alone of those paid for the hydroseeding mix for these areas and the pump and everything else. So that's pretty wild. If you do it yourself and you need something like this, it's definitely worth it money-wise.
Well, if we grow grass.
If it grows grass, but it will. We just got to figure out how good it's going to grow and if we need to add more lime and if we need to add more grow. And then I also have a few other things I want to mix in there. I want to figure out a good compost mixture and get compost tea made for also putting on areas. We have quite a few ideas to be doing with this.
Just water.
Hold on.
Maybe. Hope he doesn't go flying in the air. Oh, goodness. Wow, whoa. Maybe you should squirt your truck off. Wait, not when I'm standing here.
Double is really good as a giant power washer. I was able to rinse the truck off where I had it really bad. It needs a wash now, but all the big stuff's off, and I was able to rinse off the trailer and get the majority of it off while I was rinsing out the tank and the pump. We're going to be using it again, but it's probably going to be a little bit before we use it again, so I don't want, basically it's paper mache. I don't want the paper mache drying inside and making any issues. All right, I thought I'd give an update before I end the video. It's been 3 days since I sprayed the first batch of hydroseeding mix, and then 2 days since I sprayed the other one. It's been warm and sunny. We haven't gotten any rain. So let's check on it and see what it's doing. I don't know, it looks like it's starting to grow already over here. Let's take an up close look. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick that up, but it is starting to sprout. Not all the seeds, but some of them, like there. So that is wild. I'm just looking down here in the ditch. That also has some seeds sprouting in it. So I'm gonna say within a week, this should be looking really good. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot down here. Let me show you. They're starting to sprout down here too, pretty good over there. It's pretty sunny out, so it's hard to see in the sun on camera, but there's quite a few little sprouts growing. I'm thinking in a couple more days, we're really gonna have some good grass growing. That is very exciting. I think we're supposed to get some rain tonight, so that should help because some of the areas still look a little wet, but then they also looks like it's dried up. So some rain should help. I'll keep you guys updated about how good the hydroseeding mix is working. I am excited to see it's working as good as it is. So I am pumped. Definitely worked out making a homemade hydro seeder. I had no idea, never built one before. I did a bunch of research, seeing if it could be done. When I was in high school, I had used a professional hydro seeder, and that was fun. So we've just been having a lot of issues around here with trying to grow grass and everything washing out. Over here, I don't think we're starting to germinate yet. Maybe a little bit. Not sure that's germinating too much, but this was done a day later. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'll keep you guys updated. If you're looking to build a homemade hydro seeder, I would recommend it. It's fun. It works. If you have any hillsides to do and you're gonna do it yourself, I feel like this, even building your own hydro seeder, is cheaper than having to go out and buy the straw mats. I wish we would have built this last year so this wouldn't be all washed out the way it is. But now we have one and we can use it here on out, and that excites me. So this is where we're going to end the video. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.